You ever have one of those days where you just can't seem to turn your brain off? It just keeps going and going? Well, today we're going to dive into this really powerful story that has a surprisingly simple answer to that exact problem: how to finally quiet a restless mind. So let me ask you this. Does your mind ever feel like a storm? Just constantly swirling with worries about what's next, or maybe regrets about something that's already happened? If you're nodding along right now, then you have to hear the story of this young guy named Marco. So this is Marco. And honestly, he was trapped, not by actual walls or chains or anything like that, but by his own mind. It was this relentless cycle of thoughts that, well, it stole his calm, it wrecked his sleep, and it even made him forget how to smile.
So, what does a mind like a storm even feel like? I mean, really? For Marco, it was this constant battle, a tug of war between two different moments in time. And guess what? Neither of them was the present.
And that was Marco's trap, you see. His mind was always jumping back and forth. One minute, he's replaying the past, which just left him feeling sad and totally exhausted. The next, he's rehearsing the future, which filled him with all this anxiety. There was just no room left for peace, right here in the present. Eventually, he hit a breaking point. Marco just decided, I can't live like this anymore. He starts hearing these whispers, these rumors, about a wise man living up in the hills, someone who might have the answer he's so desperately looking for. And just like that, his quest begins. So Marco he sets out. He'd heard these stories about a former psychologist, this really wise man who basically ditched the chaos of the city for a quiet life in the hills. And with just a little glimmer of hope, Marco starts this long, pretty tough journey, all driven by this one single powerful goal: to finally find some peace for his restless mind. Now, when Marco finally gets there, you might expect some big, complex lecture, right? Or maybe a secret mantra. But nope. The wise man he hands him a glass of water and gives him a pretty strange task. The instructions seemed super straightforward. The wise man takes a glass and fills it with water. I mean, right to the very brim. So full that even the slightest little shake would make it spill. Then he hands it to Marco and tells him, walk to the edge of the village and come back. Sounds easy enough, right? But, there was a catch. And this one single rule, it changed everything. This wasn't just a walk anymore. It was a test of absolute, unwavering focus. I mean, the stakes were pretty low, it's just water. But the concentration it demanded was total. So Marco's like, okay, I'll do it. And as he starts walking, the village is just buzzing with distractions. You've got shopkeepers shouting, dogs barking, people running right past him. But Marco, he didn't notice any of it. His entire world, his entire being was focused on that one glass and the water just shimmering at the very edge. So Marco makes it back, totally successful. He didn't spill a single drop. But the real lesson wasn't in the success. It was in the wise man's reaction. Or actually, his lack of reaction. Yeah, instead of a good job or pat on the back, the wise man just asks him, so what did you notice on your walk? Did you happen to see the children playing? Did you hear any dogs barking? And this right here is the light bulb moment. Marco, kind of surprised, just admits, no, I didn't notice anything at all. No kids, no dogs, no shopkeepers, nothing. His focus was so complete, so absolute, that the rest of the world just faded away. And that, right there, is the entire lesson. So the wise man breaks it down for him. He explains that this is the secret. See, peace isn't something you go out and find. It's what's already there when your mind is completely occupied with what's happening right now. When you are totally absorbed in the present moment, there is literally no mental bandwidth left for regrets about the past or anxieties about the future. Think about it. During that walk, for the first time in years, Marco's mind wasn't a storm. It wasn't lost in what was or what might be. It was just here, now, focused on the task, and in that pure, simple state of focus, he found silence. He found peace. And just like that, it clicked for Marco. He finally understood. The secret wasn't some gift the wise man gave him. It was a power he'd just discovered inside himself. And the transformation, it was profound. I mean, just remember the guy we started with, right? Adrift in the sea of his own thoughts, couldn't sleep, couldn't even crack a smile. That was Marco's reality before all this. But the man who walked home that day, he was completely different. On the outside, nothing had changed, but on the inside, everything had. He was now carrying the key to quieting that storm within himself.
So what's the big takeaway here? It's this. True peace isn't some destination you have to travel to. It's a state of being, and we can access it anytime we want just by fully engaging with right here, right now. When you focus your mind on the now, you're basically starving all those anxieties about the past and the future. You're cutting off the attention they need to survive.
And that brings us to the last and maybe the most important question, because this isn't really just a story about Marco, is it? It's a metaphor for all of our lives. So I want you to take a second and really ask yourself, what in your life can you give your full, undivided attention to? What is your glass of water right now?